A decree spreads through the ancient forest kingdom. All mirrors are forbidden for 200 years. Lady Elowen learns of the ban as the decree is nailed to the cedar gate. Sir Aldrich returns from patrol, sensing unrest among the people. Rumors whisper that the Queen witnessed something inside a mirror. Lady Elowen discovers her family's bronze mirror missing. Sir Aldrich consults the forest oracle about the royal ban. Villagers report seeing their reflections move independently in water basins. Lady Elowen hears scratching behind her empty mirror stand. Hunters claim masked figures walk across the lake at moonrise. Sir Aldrich uncovers a bronze mirror shard buried beneath the stables. The oracle warns Aldrich that the kingdom once lost its reflection. Lady Elowen finds a hidden stone door behind a tapestry of ancient gods. A deep humming sound echoes behind the sealed door. Sir Aldrich is summoned to the Queen for a silent private audience. The Queen reveals the mirror that started the curse still lives. Lady Elowen forces open the ancient stone door. The secret chamber floor is covered in shattered ancient mirrors. Sir Aldrich is ordered to deliver the forbidden mirror to the sacred grove. The oracle warns Elowen of the return of the reflectionless king. The kingdom trembles as an unseen force awakens beneath the forest. Sir Aldrich feels the mirror pulse like a heartbeat beneath the black cloth. Lady Elowen descends deeper into the hidden chamber and discovers a stone altar. The altar reacts to her presence, vibrating faintly. The sacred grove draws closer as Aldrich approaches with the forbidden mirror. In the chamber, Lady Elowen finds an inscription. The king who erased his reflection shall rise as shadow. The ground shakes as the mirror inside Aldrich's cart awakens fully. Lady Elowen discovers a second door hidden behind the altar. Inside the second chamber lies a perfectly preserved bronze mirror. The mirror reflects the room, but not Elowen. In the sacred grove, Aldrich finally reveals the forbidden mirror. The two mirrors, Elowen's and Aldrich's, begin, glowing at the same time. Lady Elowen watches symbols appear across the mirror's surface. In the grove, Aldrich sees a silhouette forming inside the mirror. Lady Elowen realizes the two mirrors are awakening the same entity. The shape in Aldrich's mirror presses a hand against the surface. Lady Elowen reaches out to touch the silent mirror before her. The mirror in the grove bursts into blinding light. The chamber mirror engulfs Elowen in the same light. Both mirrors go silent, leaving a strange stillness across the kingdom. When the light fades, both Lady Elowen and Sir Aldrich are gone. A cold wind sweeps across the kingdom as both mirrors begin to heal themselves. In the sacred grove, the restored mirror reveals a landscape not of this world. Deep underground, the chamber mirror shows Lady Elowen standing in a strange realm. The oracle senses the tear between the worlds growing wider. The villagers gather at the lake as its surface turns to polished glass. A silhouette appears beneath the lake's glassy surface. In the other realm, Sir Aldrich awakens in shifting silver sands. Lady Elowen appears on a floating platform of bronze light. The reflectionless king slowly forms a body in the sacred grove mirror. Aldrich begins to walk toward a distant structure shaped like a colossal mask. Elowen steps off the floating platform and lands on a path of suspended shards. The lake surface finally cracks. Aldrich reaches the Mask Temple, sensing Elowen's presence deep inside. Elowen's shard path guides her toward a floating doorway. The villagers witness a colossal, faceless figure emerging from the lake crack. Aldrich steps into the temple and finds a hall of mirrors, all showing Elowen. Elowen opens the floating door and steps into the same hall of mirrors. Aldrich and Elowen finally stand together, though the air around them distorts. The reflectionless king steps fully from the grove mirror into the real world. The mirror hall trembles as the ancient entity begins crossing into their realm. Aldrich raises his spear as the reflectionless king advances, warping the hall with shadow. Elowen steps forward, her lamp casting golden light across the darkening hall. The king strikes, but the hall's mirrors absorb and redirect his darkness. Elowen's hand touches a cracked mirror, creating a bridge of golden shards. The king roars, and the hall trembles violently, shaking mirrors from their frames. Elowen leaps onto the bridge of shards, moving toward the reflectionless king. Aldrich joins her, spear pointed at the king, the hall echoing with silent tension. The king's cloak of shadow lashes out, knocking mirrors aside. Elowen and Aldrich combine their light, forming a radiant barrier. The king shrieks silently as the mirrors start pulling his shadow into themselves. The reflectionless king is pulled halfway into the mirrors, struggling. A blinding flash erupts as the king is fully absorbed into the mirrors. Silence falls, the mirrors cool, now still and dark. The hall slowly rebuilds itself, as if the king had never existed. Outside, villagers notice the lake returning to calm, reflections clear once more. The oracle appears, whispering only in gestures that the kingdom is safe. Aldrich and Elowen leave the hall, the mirrors returning to ordinary bronze. The kingdom awakens fully, unaware of the silent battle that just occurred. Aldrich and Elowen reach the sacred grove, placing the mirrors in protective stone pedestals. Peace returns, the mirrors now dormant, holding their secrets for centuries to come. Weeks pass. The forest remains undisturbed, yet faint whispers seem to drift from the mirrors. Lady Elowen examines the mirror closely, noticing subtle movement beneath its surface. Sir Aldrich senses a tremor in the earth, a reminder that the king's power lingers. In the dead of night, a shard of mirror glows, projecting faint images of the past. Elowen touches the glowing shard, sensing echoes of the reflectionless king. Aldrich shields the grove as shadows creep along the forest floor. A sudden gust carries shimmering dust from the shattered hall into the grove. The mirror shard pulses, forming a faint portal of silver light. Aldrich steps closer, spear ready, as the portal hums silently. The portal stabilizes, revealing a mirrored landscape beyond. Elowen steps onto the threshold, shard in hand, bridging the realms. Aldrich follows, ready to confront whatever lies beyond. Inside the mirrored realm, landscapes twist, reflecting past and future. A faint silhouette appears, faceless but familiar, echoing the king's presence. Shadows twist around the king's figure, pulling at the realm itself. Elowen raises her shard, creating a barrier of golden light between them and the king. The king presses forward, darkness meeting Elowen's light. Aldrich thrusts his spear into the mirrored ground, channeling shard energy. The king falters as light fills the mirrored realm completely. Silence reigns, the mirrors now dormant, their power sealed once again. Days pass, and the grove remains quiet, yet faint echoes of the king's shadow linger in the air. Lady Alowen studies the mirrors, sensing a lingering pulse beneath their surfaces. Sir Aldrich notices small fractures spreading across a mirror's edge, hinting at hidden power. A sudden gust of wind carries golden dust from the shattered hall into the grove. The mirror shard on Elowen's pedestal pulses, projecting faint, ghostly images of the reflectionless king. Aldrich lifts his spear, preparing for any residual threat the king might leave. Elowen reaches toward the shard, feeling a pulse of ancient energy. The shard glows brighter, projecting a vision of the king's past conquests. Hooded villagers murmur silently, sensing a presence they cannot see. Elowen's shard projects a floating path, inviting her deeper into the realm of reflections. Aldrich follows, stepping carefully along the illuminated shard path. The forest around them grows silent, as if holding its breath. A reflection of the king appears in one shard, faceless but towering. Aldrich positions himself protectively, spear glowing faintly. The king's silhouette dissipates slowly as the shards absorb its energy. Elowen places the shard back into its pedestal, golden light fading. Aldrich watches over the grove, ensuring no residual magic remains. Hooded villagers return to daily life, unaware of the immense power sealed nearby. Elowen and Aldrich stand together, their masks reflecting faint sunlight. The mirrors remain dormant, holding their secrets, as centuries of history pass silently above the grove. Decades pass as the forest grows denser, concealing the mirrors from all but the keenest eyes. Lady Elowen senses a subtle hum in the air, a remnant of the reflectionless king's energy, while Sir Aldrich patrols the grove to ensure the mirrors remain undisturbed. A sudden breeze carries golden dust, hinting that the mirror's energy is not entirely dormant. Elowen examines the shards, noticing faint, ghostly shapes moving inside, as Aldrich senses a pressure in the grove, as if unseen eyes watch them. A shard hums loudly, projecting faint visions of the king's shadow, prompting Aldrich to position himself between Elowen and the shard. The projection solidifies into a faint, faceless figure, but Elowen raises her hand, a golden glow emanating from her shard and pushing the shadow back. The shadow recoils into the shards, leaving behind a faint pulse that shows the king's essence is sealed but not destroyed. Exhausted but vigilant, Elowen and Aldrich step back as the grove returns to calm, appearing almost ordinary to any passerby. Time flows silently as generations live and die, unaware of the ancient power hidden within the grove. Occasionally, golden dust drifts from the pedestals as a quiet reminder of the dormant force. Elowen walks among the mirrors, checking each pedestal, while Aldrich patrols the grove's edges, alert to any disturbance. A faint shimmer across a shard hints that the king's presence lingers still, waiting, as the grove remains silent and the mirrors dormant, while the forest whispers of secrets yet to awaken. Centuries pass, the grove becomes legend, a hidden place whispered among travelers. Lady Elowen and Sir Aldrich, now elders, Continue guarding the mirrors silently. A faint pulse emerges from the mirrors, hinting at the king's lingering essence. Hooded villagers notice subtle distortions in reflections on water and metal. Elowen touches a shard, sensing faint whispers of the past king. Aldrich positions himself protectively, spear in hand, ready for any resurgence. The shard pulses brighter, projecting a faint, ghostly figure of the king. The ghostly figure retreats as Elowen channels her shard's light. Aldrich reinforces the perimeter, ensuring no residual energy escapes. The grove settles into calm once more. The mirror's power is dormant but watchful. Time continues. The mirror's legend grows among wandering travelers. Elowen senses an ancient presence, a subtle warning echoing through the grove. Aldrich observes a faint shimmer in one mirror, hinting at unseen disturbances. The forest grows dense, protecting the mirrors from prying eyes. A faint hum resonates from the shard, a lingering echo of the king's essence. Elowen raises her hand, channeling the shard's protective energy. Aldrich reinforces the perimeter, ensuring no residual energy escapes the grove. The shard's glow fades, leaving the grove in serene silence. Legends of the mirrors persist in hushed stories among travelers. The grove remains hidden, the mirrors dormant, holding their secrets for generations to come. Centuries have passed. The grove is now a shadowed legend whispered by wandering villagers. Lady Elowen's essence lingers in the grove, invisible but watchful. Sir Aldrich's protective energy remains, forming an unseen barrier around the mirrors. A faint shimmer in the mirrors hints at the king's essence, still trapped but restless. Travelers report seeing ghostly figures in the grove at twilight. Elowen's shard pulses faintly, warning of a disturbance beyond the veil. Aldrich senses a tremor in the earth, subtle but unnerving. A faint golden dust rises from the pedestals, forming a silent pathway. The king's shadow stirs subtly in the farthest shard, testing the boundaries of his prison. Elowen channels light through her shard, keeping the shadow contained. Aldrich reinforces the invisible barrier, ensuring no residual energy escapes the grove. The golden pathway fades, leaving the grove quiet once more. Shadows in the mirrors shimmer occasionally, reminders of the king's imprisoned essence. Travelers' whispers keep the legend of the grove alive across generations. Elowen senses a faint tug in the shard, hinting at a disturbance in a distant land. Aldrich scans the forest edges, feeling the echoes of the king's power stretching outward. A faint, golden shimmer forms around the pedestals, reinforcing the mirror's containment. The king's shadow fades slightly, but remains trapped within the shards. The grove remains a sanctuary, protected by Elowen and Aldrich's lingering presence. Generations pass, yet the mirror's secrets remain, waiting silently for the next awakening. Centuries have become millennia. The grove is now myth, known only in fragmented tales. Lady Elowen's lingering essence flickers faintly among the mirrors, ever watchful. Sir Aldrich's protective energy remains, forming an invisible barrier over the grove. The king's shadow stirs faintly in one shard, testing the boundaries of his prison. Elowen channels her shard's light, holding the shadow at bay. Aldrich strengthens the invisible barrier, ensuring no fragment of the king's essence escapes. Golden dust rises silently from the pedestals, a reminder of the mirror's latent power. The grove remains hidden, a sanctuary untouched by the passing centuries. Travelers' whispers keep the legend of the grove alive, though few ever see it. A faint pulse from a shard reminds that the king's essence is dormant, not destroyed. Elowen senses the energy of the mirrors stretching beyond the grove, connecting distant lands. Aldrich scans the grove edges, feeling echoes of the king's ancient power. The golden shimmer around the pedestals intensifies slightly, reinforcing containment. The king's shadow fades further, but remains trapped, a silent prisoner. Elowen and Aldrich's presence lingers, an eternal guard over the mirrors. The grove is timeless, a hidden sanctuary holding the secrets of millennia. Golden shards glimmer faintly, hinting that the mirror's power endures. Travelers speak in hushed tones of a grove where mirrors hold ancient secrets. The king's essence remains imprisoned, the mirrors silent but vigilant. The grove stands eternal, the mirror's secrets sealed, waiting for the next era to awaken them.